Evening, everybody.
That's it.
Pardon if I sound weird tonight. I apologize. My headset and microphone set up shit the bed about 3 minutes ago.
Swear jar.
So yeah, whatever. I'm probably gonna get it demonetized. Whatever. I don't care. I'm over it today. It's been a long week, a crazy week, and I'm just tired. So I hope Mark brought a lot of energy.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, we're toast tonight. Anyways, stay with us. We'll be back with you after I watch our kick-ass opening sequence. It's Tuesday night. It's 9:05. Welcome to What's on Joe Mind. We are a fan cast about the world of G.I. Joe. I'm your host, Mike Irizarry, and I can't hear myself, so if I just keep talking louder and louder and louder tonight, just whatever. We're here. That's all that's important.
He has a problem regulating his voice.
It's a real
I can't
problem,
control the sound of my own voice. But thank you for hanging through the closing credits of Blues Brothers 2000 tonight here on the Superstation. We appreciate you being here for us. Joining me in the top row, he's back from his week on assignment. The honcho, Mark Weber, former head of marketing for the G.I. Joe team at Hasbro.
And now rugged Universal Orlando veteran. Man, it was a hit job like you wouldn't believe. We flew in on a Sunday, went to the park same day. Right. Went to the park Monday all day. Went to the park early Tuesday morning, and then got on a plane at like noon. we were sparing no expense. But yeah, we tore through, which is okay because Universal doesn't have that many like killer rides. Right. So we rode everything we wanted to, and most things twice. And if you're a roller coaster maniac like my son, we rode the Velocicoaster 8 times. So, because once was enough for Dad, right? I think I staggered off that thing 2 inches shorter, and I think Monday night the girls wore out at like 7, and I'm like, I'll stay with you, Derek, and we did one Velocicoaster, and then I said, just do the single rider line, man. I'll just wait here, and I'll be on my phone basically. And got in like 4 rides in 2 hours. So
I just ate lunch and wanted to stay down.
Yeah, right. Like that one was enough. I'm almost 50, right? The really high end roller coasters I can kind of do without. I was smart this time though. I wore glasses because I'm always worried that I wear daily lenses anyway, so it doesn't matter if I lose them, but it's a pain. So I just wore glasses and took them off, tucked them away, and then enjoyed the rides. So
Phil contends that's a rough way to do Universal Orlando. He would know as the resident expert on all things theme park.
It's the king of the theme park. At the very end of it, I'm on my phone like we're at the airport, and I make a post and put it up, and Adam Riches is like, "Are you in Orlando, Webb?" I totally forgot. But honestly, there was not a lot of spare time. So next time.
Sean Russell asked, Mark, did you do the Harry Potter area?
Yeah, every bit of it. And I'm not a big Potter fan. I'm more of a Ron Weasley fan, let's be honest.
Right.
Because he gets the girl because he's the redhead. But
he was the one making it happen. We all know.
Yeah, Ron's the guy, right? But it's phenomenal. For Potter fans, I mean, it's as good as it gets. And the way they make the streets tight, but the buildings tall, you could, if you wanted to, lose yourself in Potterland, right? So. And we saw a live, 15-minute performance by a couple of Blues Brothers stand-ins who were pretty good. So, all right, cool. Pretty cool. So all in all, it was a really good trip. But that means I know I had the week off, so I'm the most rested.
Craig Cohan wants you to know that the best coasters are in Sandusky, Ohio at Cedar Point.
I know that's
I've heard that too.
My son America's roller coaster.
My son has done a ton of research. And I think that's by and large true, other than King Ka. in New Jersey, which is, I think, still tallest in the U.S., maybe tallest in the world. It goes straight up. And then you get shot out of a freaking cannon, and you turn like a quarter turn straight up, 8 miles straight up. And then it turns and brings you down with a twist. And then there's just like 2 gradual hills to slow you down and to let your heart settle.
And you're in New Jersey, so you don't mind if you die.
Yeah, that's kind of it. The most terrifying part, we were in line, we got up to the front, and there was a big sign that said, if your car does not crest the hill and comes down backwards, this is normal. And I'm like, I'm going to call bullshit on the word normal. Right?
Yeah.
It might be safe.
Right.
It might be tested, but that is not normal. No. That was the only thing I was praying for. Don't let me go straight up to the moon and come down backwards. I'm going to register a complaint.
Right.
So
tested.
Derek was like 10 years old when he went on that. And we came down, and I was like, that was more than enough that I ever needed in my life. But the ride had been shut down, so there was no wait if we wanted to get right back on. And so I was honest with him. I said, Derek, if you want to ride again, we can get right back on if you want. And he said, well, I think I'm okay, Dad. And I'm like, you're getting a T-shirt. Just like that. I conquered King Kai. Still has it. Doesn't fit, but whatever. Yeah.
His voice was a little deeper. He stood a little taller.
I was so happy he didn't want to go the second time. Because he was 10. I couldn't let him go alone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That was plenty. Yeah.
I mean, you could have, but there probably would have been folks talking to you after that.
Yeah.
I'm in Jersey.
I will go on any gigantic metal, flip you inside out, 8,000 mile an hour coaster. Any of them. Before I go on another 1950s wooden, still nailed together, rickety, make me feel 80 years old with a bad back coaster.
Stay off the beast.
out in this part of the world, in Cincinnati, we got the Beast at Kings Island. That is the king of the wooden coasters.
I'm not going on.
No, the king of the wooden coasters is the Cyclone, but
I'm done with wooden coasters.
The Cyclone is older and better known, but the Beast is the biggest and the oldest.
Yeah, but like I said, the Cyclone is the oldest, so you're more in fear for your life.
No offense to Disney Machine Philip Donnelly, but I'm done with the doesn't matter horn too. That thing's bull. I'm never getting on that thing.
Anyways, carrying on the proud tradition of Zeppelin Lungs Godso, breathing heavily into his mic at all times. It's Ragtime, Rob.
Hi. Yeah, I can't figure out why it's suddenly picking up every breath I take.
Might be the fleas.
It's probably the influenza.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's the COVID. Do you need some time off?
I just got the shot for the COVID. So.
Aaron Rodgers says you don't need that. Just so you know.
Just rub some dewormer.
Yeah.
Moron.
All I'd like to say is I have as many passing yards with the Jets as Aaron Rodgers this year.
Good point.
So.
Good point.
And it took you 4 fewer snaps to get it.
Yeah, and I still got a whole leg.
Jesus, he makes like $8 million a snap, doesn't he?
So I think they figured out it was something like $12 million a snap this year.
Yeah.
That's some Joe Burrow money right there.
That's
Joey Business.
Yeah, but they've won games this year with him playing quarterback,
yeah,
so it's not the same at all.
Advantage Joe.
They've managed to score a touchdown in their last 3 games.
But anyways, that's the cast tonight. We got enough to talk about. We didn't go with a 4th host, and I think that's why Phil is salty in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was actually more that I was out of town. I was in St. Louis Sunday and Monday, so prep time for this week's show is a little light. We got a lot of it done Saturday before we left, and then, of course, we had news drops today.
Best time.
I hate them all. I hate everybody. Anybody who breaks news on Tuesday, just know for a fact, I hate them.
I think maybe, and now I'm not going to tell you how to run your show because I'm a new guy. But when news drops on a Tuesday, let's just go live. News burst. Here we go.
Blam!
Boom.
News blam. That's what we'll call it. See if do I have anything in the sound effect bay that'll.
The news grenade.
Right?
Not really.
News bunk. Here's some bunk for you.
We could use the trumpet flare again. But that's about it. Let's take the loop off of that. There we go.
Las noticias para tú. Es un grande equipo de campeones del mundo.
Las cucarachas entran, pero no pueden salir.
I would like to say that now Edwin Diaz has entered the chat. But anyway, because he's got nothing else to do.
Right. But what do you say as I mess with my own buttons here? Where the hell did they go?
Don't push the one marked wham. That one got stuck on my keyboard. We got
We're almost up to the Andrew Ridgely part. Get out! Get out!
No, there's no Andrew Ridgely part.
No.
Come on now.
He's just in the back going.
He's out of the final mix on everything. Come on.
I thought
He's like
that was
the bass player in Metal Tunes. Come on.
I thought that was the part where George said, should have known better than to cheat a friend. Now you know.
Anyways, let's get into some community calendar.
I gotta say, that chicken nugget does a lot of retreating.
I mean, that's a C-Nug.
Community calendar.
The 405, it's jam!
She knows.
Get back on that. I'm your host, my dear Aaron.
Is that Cena wearing a diaper and bouncing in the sauce?
I think it's a T-shirt.
Either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why he's wearing a T-shirt.
I don't know why he's got sleeve holes, arm holes in the T-shirt.
What's holding it up?
His lithe, chickeny shoulders? I don't know, Rob. You're asking me questions there are no answers for.
It's live.
What's holding it up? His C-pecs. That's what.
Right.
He can make a bounce like Hogan. It's great.
Oh, God. I'm so tired. So very tired. Anyways.
Live chickeny shoulders.
Of course, coming up this weekend, finally, the Washington State Toy Show. We've been talking about it for weeks. But look at that assemblage of Sunbow G.I. Joe magic that's going to be there in Vancouver, Washington this weekend. That's Bill Ratner. That's Mary McDonald Lewis. That's Michael Bell. It's B.J. Ward. It's Neil Ross. All together under the same roof. Got to make sure there is armed presence to protect this building because Lord knows if something happened. Anyways, all there at Washington State Toy Show. You can get more details at watoyshow.com out at the Clark County Events Center in Vancouver, Washington. If you're anywhere close, go check it out. If you're at Jake Rose's booth, you're wearing What's on Joe Mind gear, he'll give you a discount. He said so on our program. I don't know if he remembers it or not. I don't know if he's here. I might be plugging a discount that is no longer in effect. I don't know. But either way, just find Jake's booth and hug him a lot. Tell him What's on Joe Mind sent you. He'll probably get a kick out of it.
He's crunched the numbers and he can't do it.
Or he'll sue us all. I don't know.
If you're wearing a What's on Joe Mind shirt, you get 20% off at Bed Bath & Beyond. So that's
all right.
So you got that going for you.
You can't say that because there's still, I think, 2 of those open.
Right.
So
I think I want to cause a cross-continental incident here, and maybe I'll just bug out and go to this show because my mom, the beloved Nola Weber, is coming out here to visit. So if she shows up from Oregon and I go to Washington at the same time, there are going to be some of them there repercussions.
that does keep the balance of Weber's, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Johnny Law would certainly be satisfied with that.
Yeah.
But there would be repercussions.
Looking at this picture, it occurs to me that girls don't go gray.
I mean, sure, we'll go with that.
It's interesting. Must be something with the chromosome.
We will pretend that that's the case, Mark.
But, I mean, let's be honest. They're all still killing it.
Well, yeah. Hey, they're in Hollywood.
Yeah.
They got people. They know.
Peoples.
Sorry, I have so much crap on my desk that the slightest wrong move is knocking shit all over the place. So I apologize if there are moments when I just back out to put stuff to stand things back on my desk. It is. I mean, I think one more figure and I reach critical mass and an alarm starts going off.
Mike, you got to be a pro. You got to keep your desk clear of all random items.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Agent Chuckles says, now he got someone to cover his shift. Now he's just got to decide if he wants to drive 4 hours to get to Vancouver.
I just drive faster. Go in 3.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Headless Cap always in there.
You know, I have an option for
Headless
him now,
Cap.
but I kind of like him how he is.
You have more variety on your desk than I have on mine, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Anyways, next up. Hey, Assembly Required's coming up November 3rd. Get all the details at codenameiowa.com, or maybe just watch our episode from a couple of weeks ago, back on What's on Joe Mind 281, where we had, was that last week? Last week. 2 weeks. Oh, good God. It's been a long week, hasn't it? It's been a long week, hasn't it? But yeah, Brian was here, and then Brian Sauer was here, and we had too many Brians, and we had them fight to the death. And in between, we talked about Assembly Required. That's how that went, right, Rob?
Yeah, the fight to the death was on our Patreon.
Right. Do we have one of those?
No.
Yeah.
No. Actually, we do. We just don't use it. We have a coffee that we use. Diana Davis asking the important question, what is a Hy-Vee anyhow? Couldn't tell you.
I think it's a grocery store chain.
They got a hall in downtown Des Moines. So that's where Assembly Required is going to be.
It's a really small off-road vehicle.
That's an AT Hy-Vee. Matt Rubin notes that Hy-Vee is better than a low blow.
Fair enough.
Very, very true. Very true. But yeah, good times. It's a great G.I. Joe only show. Lots of good stuff. They got to. It's free to attend on Saturday. There is a pre-show on Friday that will require a couple of bucks on your part. But great times. If you're anywhere close to Des Moines, Iowa, get yourself out to Assembly Required. You will not be sorry. And again, watch last week's episode if you have any questions, because I think we answer most of them. It's Derek Holloman. Hy-Vee is a grocery store chain. There we go.
That's what I said. I thought it was. Thank you for clarifying.
I thought it was a hybrid Hummer, and I mean that in the vehicular sense.
Well, what other sense is there?
I don't know. I just want to be clear. I don't want to get confused. I don't want to get demonetized again.
That's too late for that. It's too late. Entirely too late. Going forward, if you're not in Des Moines that weekend, if you're in Tampa instead, got another one of those Florida extravaganza shows going on. It'll be from 9 to 5 at the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa. You can see the address there on the screen. Parking is free at this fine event. So again, if you can't make the Big Joe show in Des Moines, not a bad fallback. As we know, all the best shows have free parking.
Absolutely. I don't remember the last show that when it was throwing up its big old logos, decided that Strawberry Shortcake was one of the winners. But okay.
Look, the boss fight folks are happy. That's good enough, right?
Hey, I dig the boss fight match, so I'm fine with that. But
anything that helps them out, we're down with. That's Hans Chow in the chat tonight. No breaking glass upon entry, but here he is anyway. I just listened to a quick take of Neil Ross doing Shipwreck. I need to meet this man now. Amazing talent. He is. You notice anytime they had dramatic heavy lifting to do on any Sunbow cartoon, it was a Neil Ross character doing it. If you go back in our audio archives, we had Neil on once or twice. I think just the once. And then we met him when he was a Joe-Con, so it might have felt like a second time. But I'm sure it felt like 100 times for that poor gentleman. But But yeah, check that one out. We have a lot of fun with Neil a few years ago when he was on the program. Who's blowing you up, Mark?
My mom is flying out overnight. And so when you get a call from her at 9:30, I'm thinking, Oregon and Providence are not close. So let me send the text. Hi, Mom.
Her connecting flight is landing in Salt Lake, and unfortunately, it's leaving in Omaha.
Let's see if I can get a text message to go through. Proceed.
But Jeff Butler says Neil Ross's autobiography, Vocal Recall, is definitely worth getting. You know, I haven't read it yet. I feel bad. But tell her we're doing a show, Mark.
Right?
Jesus.
Good Lord. She's the first time. Hey, that's the first. We've never been interrupted by, you know who interrupted us? My mom. Right. You know what, Muscle Man? When you keep saying my mom, it doesn't mean my mother. It means that is a deep cut, even for regular show fans. So if you got that, yeah, you win the bingo.
Oh, if you haven't watched Regular Show, I cannot endorse Regular Show enough. Just a glorious piece of television.
If you like comedy or if you like really real wrestling, you've absolutely got to watch some Regular Show.
Really real wrestling.
Now streaming on Max.
Right.
Get it before it's gone and replace with my 6,000-pound fiance.
All right, just so none of you are worried out there, right, about the fabulous Noah Weber. She's leaving. She's flying out of Redmond on her way to Seattle. So
Good.
She'll be here in the morning. I can't do red eyes. More power to her.
Right. She going Seattle straight to Boston, or?
No, she's going to Providence, so she's got to go Seattle somewhere else, and then Providence.
Yeah.
Providence is a superior airport. Logan Airport is a friggin' hole,
Right.
and obviously further away. But you can't get much further west than Chicago direct out of Providence.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe she's going Seattle to O'Hare.
Yeah. So, or Midway if she's unlucky.
You know what? I'll tell you, Mark. I would take Midway 100 times before I touch foot in O'Hare again.
Oh, really?
I hate O'Hare. Oh my God. Oh, what a disaster! You talk about a hole. O'Hare.
I'm trying to think of the ones I didn't used to like Seattle because I had a couple of issues connected out of there. But the last several times it's been okay. And if you're going to Oregon, you probably better be friendly with Seattle. I think I've had my worst luck in Dallas.
I haven't flown through Dallas very often.
Yeah.
Once when I went to Dallas for JoeCon, and then the second time through DFW was when I was going to New Orleans for a different JoeCon. But it wasn't terrible either time. But,
there's a sign at I forget the food court in Midway. There's a sign at like a hot dog shop that goes, toppings for the hot dogs are over here. If you need ketchup for your hot dog, there are several other restaurants. I'm pretty serious about that, Chicago.
A little uptight. It's not like pineapple on a pizza.
Yeah, but anyways, Midway is very bare bones. It's almost like flying into a FedEx spot, but at least it's laid out well, and you can get where you need to go. I'll give Midway its props.
Okay. Midway has a great sushi place, apparently. Thank you, Patrick Stracco, in the comment.
Right. Completing our conversion to Travel Channel.
Because airport sushi is like gas station lobster, right?
I mean, still better than gas station sushi, but
yeah, I'll give you that.
Barely.
Yeah.
You don't get the runs until you hit the air, whereas with gas station sushi, it's immediate.
Yeah.
That's my dad joke of the week. Did you know diarrhea is genetic?
It runs in your genes.
Well played.
I'm all off. I'm used to having a big microphone. I'm all
you're
off.
rattled. You're the Lincoln this week. Lincoln is a kid on our soccer team who showed up without the right socks. And
All right.
I went and fetched said socks, but I knew it was going to be a long day because you're thrown, right? You're out of your routine.
Yeah. And literally 3 minutes before we went on the air, it just died.
Hey, that was when my computer finished rebooting. Is there a correlation, perhaps?
I haven't even had time to get this piece of trash off my little table. That's how bad it is.
Is it a Mercer figure?
Again, Mercer's a fine figure. I don't have a problem with the Mercer figure. It's just that the character is such complete bullshit that it bothers me.
Are you ready for the Mercer Revolution coming soon to a comic near you?
I mean, provided he gets shot in the face, yeah, I'm holding out hope. Anyways.
Oh man, I shot Mercer in the face. Why the fuck did you do that?
That's it for community calendar.
You must have hit a bump.
It's probably all the same too, because Lord knows I wasn't doing a lot of homework this week. It was a bad week for that sort of thing.
Rise, perfect being, arise!
You made us a monster!
Community calendar.
You're in the dark web.
She knows. It's back on off. I'm your host, my dear Aaron.
I mean, I should take that personal, but how can you? I mean, come on.
Mark, I mean, we get a lot of comedy out of your presence on the show somehow. I don't know how that's worked out, but
Everybody
even
laugh.
the thumbnail.
Everyone
thumbnail
laugh at the
today.
sad clown. Yeah, fine.
The thumbnail today, like you're one of the Cobra troopers coming out of the mothership, so it works better. No one wants to see me more often.
I like the beta test though that had my head on the mothership.
Right, I'll try and get that one up while we're talking. That was incredible.
I need a larger skull.
That was just something.
I didn't see that one.
No, a bit of comedy that I did just for Mark and for Joe.
I'm digging it.
But let me see if I can pull that up real quick before we get into the news.
Now we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna work. I got faith here. Rap joke.
I like this plan. It's a good plan. Let's all get behind this plan.
It's a bad plan that can't be changed.
And okay, come on, keep working.
I don't know. I think we're testing it. I smell smoke.
I've already burnt out one piece of equipment today. I can't. Odds are I'm not going to get two, right?
Probably my computer. Yeah.
Right. I'll burn out Mark's. Too graphically intense.
Yeah.
Back on the phone.
Hey, this
All
seems like a time for a good plug. By the way, if you or someone you love is looking for a Mad Marauders barbecue,
Oh, back on the market, huh?
I know a guy who had an online trade fall through.
How does that happen?
Dude, I gave him a great price, and where to send the money? And I believe I got ghosted. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Was your price below retail?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I got.
It was about half retail with some shipping added on, right? But
Right.
even
Yeah.
still, with shipping below retail, like, get it out. I had another trade that went through smooth as silk. More on that later.
Anyways, we had
foreshadowing.
if you remember the thumbnail for today's episode, we did have a first draft of today's thumbnail, which I decided not to go with, and here it is.
Look at that. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Wow.
That thing's 3 feet wide, right?
Right.
No, I was talking about my head. Ah,
That's what I was talking about
there
too.
we go.
So yeah, it was.
I've been looking to get some kind of either pneumatic or gas-powered supports under the chin to help
Right.
keep this thing aloft.
I think we're just we've been hanging around with Absorbvids for too long. And he says he never realized his video work was trippy. That's
Yeah.
clearly a lie. Clearly a lie. But
Jeff Butler has it.
You didn't want to go?
Diana Davis asked, "You didn't want to go with that one?" You know, I did want to, but I also don't want to necessarily do that to Mark all the time, right? Like we superimpose Mark's head on a lot of things.
I don't even remember where the last shred of my ego landed. It's a long way back there.
Right?
It's the last.
Right?
I believe it has fallen, been snowed over, and watered, and is now a beautiful tree. So
Firefly says that one funded instantly.
there you go.
That's what they need. The hidden reveal tier.
Maybe a stretch goal. Who
There
knows?
you go.
All aboard the Cobra Mothership.
That's right.
You know what? That couldn't possibly be a Hasbro item.
No,
They don't even talk to us.
no, they. I believe they cut loose the Weber ship several years ago, and now almost everybody he works with. So
Greg Cohan is the head honcho.
that's what I'm talking about. I like that one. I might go with that.
Right. Once they've let go everybody you used to work with, then we'll be able to talk to them on the show.
Right, man.
One more time for the folks at home.
Yeah,
Boom. There we go.
There it
Right
is.
there.
coming at you.
First draft. I'll get that up on Instagram or something after the show tonight.
I tell you now, I'm suddenly shaking the cushions for $500. That's what...
Speaking of shaking the cushions loose,
I got a bite. Look at Better Ray Bob. I got offers.
you got to.
Retro card Lady J for that Marauders barbecue.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Best offer I've had all week.
Don't you already have that one?
Yeah, unfortunately. But I appreciate it. Beat him out. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. I'll write it. We'll do it live.
Christian McKelvey says that just doesn't fly in sunny weather.
That is a good boy, man.
Not solar powered.
Night Force Weber. That's what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking about. Dignity is not a must for this show, or wouldn't last long. Correct.
Yeah.
Big spender on the money.
Truer words never spoken.
That's it.
I made a reference already to Zeppelin Lung's Godso, so you know that's at least a 5-year-old joke right there. Just out of the gates.
I may have to pull the headphones if it's still coming through.
No, it's fine.
All right.
It's better anyway.
I mean, I've been muting a lot, so.
But again, speaking of a couple shaking the change out of the couch, if you got a couple extra bucks, by all means, our coffee account is listed down below, so be sure to check us out there. Just pledging $1 a month gets you in our end credits listed as one of our swear jariers. And while you're lurking around down there, make sure you're hitting the button to like the video and subscribe to our channel. If you're out catching us on Facebook tonight, be sure to give us some kind of a reaction. Give us a thumbs up or a heart or a little huggy guy. We do love little huggy guy. Mm-hmm. Just do all those cool social media things that help keep all the wheels rolling and keep the channel growing. We had a good week these last couple of weeks. Good last couple of weeks as far as growth goes. We like keep that momentum going. That's all because of you guys. We thank you so much for everything you do to help us out.
Do the laugh at you emoji, because we like to think we bring laughter to the world. That's if any of the Kansas City Royal fans left any laughing emojis for you guys to use. Pains in my ass today. Even the Cleveland fans weren't bad this week.
Look, Mark, your Mark is talking, of course, about his posts on his pet project, Eternal Baseball, and I keep telling him that there's unless he's putting up stats for the 85 Royals, they're not interested in Kansas City.
Yeah, no.
That's all they want to hear about, the 85 Kansas City Royals. They've won a title since then, and those guys are just the jockeys for the 85 Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, I keep hearing about the new one, Lorenzo Cain. Gotta have Lorenzo Cain in center. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
I mean, he's better than Better than Willie Wilson.
Yeah,
with his pick.
he'd be in front, ahead of the line of Willie Wilson.
I'll see you, or Lorenzo Kane and raise you an Amos Otis or a Johnny Damon. How's that? We'll go Carlos Beltran. He's a Met. Get out of my face. Jesus.
Justin Jeffrey notes that Brett Saberhagen, odd years only.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. But we go by best peak stats, best 3 years average. So you can get 2 goods and 1 bad, and he's not bad.
Yeah, that's still pretty good for him.
Yeah,
2 Cy Youngs and a bottom out. Yeah.
exactly.
You know, then bottoming out for him was what, a 4 ERA? Well,
Yeah.
He's still pretty good. But I think there's Saberhagen, Apier, Greinke, Gubaza, Dennis Leonard. Not bad.
yeah,
Not great, but all right.
I think all those guys cycle through the Mets too.
The Pens not bad because they got Quisenberry and Wade Davis and who was it? They called him the Mexicutioner for a while, which I thought was a tremendous nickname. And then he got rid of it.
I've never heard that before.
Oh yeah, he only had it for a little while, and somebody whispered in his ear because he actually liked it. But they're like, that might not be the best thing you want out there.
I can see that being taken in the wrong context.
Yeah, possibly. I'll find it. I'll come back.
What do you say we get to the news instead?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
By the way, G.I. Joe show going on.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were into our Royals bullpen talk. Joakim Soria.
First news item.
Dude, executioner.
Still going on Kickstarter. It's Total Hacks 2 from our good friends Brian Hickey and Patty Lennon. Not Brian, Patty, and Hickey Lennon. That's not it at all. Brian Hickey and Patty Lennon. Total Hacks 2.
Did you say Lemon Hickey?
Something like that. I don't know what I said, Mark. I have
Hickey,
no idea.
Hickey Lennon.
I haven't had one of those yet.
You're lost. You're lost. Get the Mrs. Weber some funky cough drops and get to work.
Now we're talking. This is my favorite part of the show when we see angry half pudgy half elf rogue cosplay. You can find her. She's by the substitute teacher.
Yes.
Yeah. Hickey Lennon sounds like a 1930s Brooklyn infielder.
Yeah,
Right, or a gangster.
Yeah.
But
Or a gangster. 1930s Brooklyn gangster.
Total Hacks 2 is still funding on Kickstarter. Needs your help. If you're interested in this one at all, this is the time to get in there and pledge on this one. And it's got to finish strong if it's going to get funded. And the only way this book's going to happen is if the Kickstarter funds. So they've got exclusives available. If you're into hacks or Boss Fight Studio stuff at all, great project for you. Again, helping out great friends of the program, Brian Hickey and Patty Lennon. You see Brian Hickey's work every week on our show because he designed our logo.
That's it.
Right there.
And we like the Boss Fight guys too. So this is all win.
Right. There are the What's on Joe Mind footprint is all over this project, even though it has nothing to do with G.I. Joe.
I mean, let's be honest. We like it. Well, no, that's not true. No, we don't even like most people, but we like these guys.
I think most people don't like us. We tend to be pretty open with folks. We tend to bring anybody in. We let Phil on the show, for Christ's sake. We call Phil a guest host sometimes.
Picking on poor Phil.
Clearly, we like people.
Watching us on his phone, trapped in traffic on the 405. Because it's jammed.
No, well, it is. But I'm sure he's in line at Pirates of the Caribbean.
Hickey Lennon was his nickname at university, according to Diane.
Well played.
Yeah.
Torpedo Mike says better sports than traffic.
We just got your California highway update.
Yeah. They were working that in too. Traffic and weather on the 8s.
We haven't figured out who's Ponch and who's John, but whatever.
Right. But again, the list of folks that do other shows that we let them on the show and then they stop talking to us. That's a longer list than any of them would like to admit. So yeah, there's that for you. Gives you an idea. That's what happens when you're the best.
That's it.
Anyhow.
Like Joakim Soria.
Anyhow. So head over to Kickstarter, look up Total Hacks 2. Let's get this one done. Let's help out Brian and Patty. Let's make this happen.
Yep.
Next news item.
Do. Greg Holland.
Hey, just dropping today. Mezco Toys has released a teaser image of a Duke figure in their 1/12 scale. They're going to show more pictures tomorrow, so be ready for that. And yeah, this is really all we got, because this is what I saw before I sent the final slideshow off a couple hours ago. So maybe there's been more images released since then. I don't know. I don't care. I hate Tuesday drops. But here it was, Tuesday drop. I had to get it in, or Diana would never forgive us. And yeah, he looks pretty cool.
From the
He looks
neck
a little
down.
shouty. He looks a little loud. I don't know
From
if
the
I
neck.
like loud.
From the neck down. He looks great. Seriously, I didn't even watch this show. He looks like Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, doesn't he?
He looks a little like William.
Well,
you
now you said I made William look like Spike. That's not cool. Next down, fine. Although I don't, and Diana will correct me, and she should, because she's number one. I don't remember the bandolier having a second strap to go over the other shoulder.
I mean, Mark, if it's just going to be exactly like the old figure, then it's not going to go around his back either. So I don't know what to tell you, man.
Okay, I'm just saying.
He's angry. So yeah, he looks a little out of sorts.
He is really upset.
He's a little PO'd about something. Something has caused him to pick up a machine gun and charge into an explosion.
Do you
The
think
Cobras interrupted hot dog lunch day at the pit.
Do you think he's going to turn the sorry lot of us into soldiers, or is he too busy today?
I don't know. I think I'm too busy for that today.
All right, fair enough. We'll try to schedule it in next week, Conrad.
Right. I'm sure, like, that's Duke's thing. I'm sure he's got the time, and I'm sure there's plenty of folks in his calendar to let that. But I don't have time.
Somebody works his fade in good though. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it looks good. I like it. I'm not in on any of the Mezco stuff. It's way too rich for my blood. But
Yeah.
but if you're into those, this will be a fine addition to that collection for you.
Yeah, neck down, it looks great. Face is troubling me. Maybe there's multiple heads.
That Ruben said he's angry and shooting. I think he finally found out about Scarlet's snake eyes.
I think that, not unlike Fred Flintstone, his personality changes with each bit of head trauma. So he's, this is his, his angry persona.
And there's a lot of head trauma.
Yeah.
That's and next he'll take a grenade will go off too close to him, and he'll wake up and he'll think he's a race car driver, just like
Wait,
Fred.
Didn't Flintstone get bopped in the head and turn into Frederick?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit.
There was lots of stuff that Fred would. It was a regular plot device that Fred would get hit in the head by something and pick up an extra personality.
I prefer the live action version called The Honeymooners.
I'm just saying that Ralph Cramden never had any trauma-induced multiple personalities.
Yeah.
And he was lesser for it.
And just imagine how cool it would be if a bus driver thought he was driving a race car.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Missed opportunity.
Multiverse.
Right? Next news item.
Jeff Montgomery.
Hey, back on Friday the 13th, there we told you all about the New York Comic-Con Super 7 panel, and we'll certainly get to the bulk of that in a minute. But little throw in, a little extra. Emily did announce that Alpine was going to be a part of the classified line. So a little name reveal there in that panel. And that's good, because really Alpine is one of the few truly notable personalities that haven't been done yet. So we figured he was coming, right?
Yeah.
So
and
this
with
is
all the gear he'll probably have, should be awesome.
Yeah, like it's not the biggest surprise, but it's still nice to know that he's planned to come out pretty soon.
When he was one of the guys that was done wrong, right? In the 25th/50th. Like he was really hard to find for a while because he was part of that
he was, yeah.
4-pack. And then somebody came along. A hero.
I was going to say, I think the term hero is not out of place.
A man with no name, but big ideas.
And a large head suitable for the front of an aircraft.
And a giant head. Put him in a 3-pack with Rock Viper and somebody else.
I got lucky enough to find him the first time.
Oh, I got
Yeah,
him,
same
but I
here.
think I had to pay for him. I think that was
Yeah.
a painful eBay. Look at that.
A hero.
That's me just coming into land with great ideas and profits galore. Until they went, no, too
Oh, it's a
profitable,
touche,
it's too
it's
profitable.
touche.
No, other people getting jealous.
And you did it with an item count of 2.5.
I mean, hey, look, I'll be straight honest with you. My Joe stuff didn't make a ton of money, but we weren't moving that much stuff. My
Right.
Transformer stuff, whew,
Blistering.
through the roof.
The peg
I-
melted.
I
I
hope
mean,
he.
I'm
I
a
hope
director.
Alpine come.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say the fine work I did on Combiner Wars got me a director job.
There you go.
Oh no, wait, that was something else.
I wasn't sure where we were going with that. I thought maybe Mark got knocked in the head and was taking on different
Right.
personality there.
and turned into Frederick.
He was a race car driver or an English gentleman.
Michael Gene Fleming, of course, bringing out our favorite chestnut. The important thing is, you're not bitter.
Not at all.
Oh,
I
goodness.
I found that Alpine 3-pack at a Meijer, and it wasn't quite where it was supposed to have been. So either somebody picked it up and put it down, didn't care, or I found where someone was trying to stash it. In which case,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I found the Mass Device piece at a Ross with the 4-pack back in the
That fourth piece of the mass device, fourth or fifth?
fifth.
That fifth piece. I was in the last vehicle pack that got canceled. I was going to include it with 3 rubberized correct size tow cables to go on your old Wolverines and Maulers.
Right.
And that was the Arctic Dragonfly was going to be lifting that up. It was Arctic Dragonfly versus Arctic Stinger. Would have been a good set. Really would have.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, save that. We'll base another show on it.
Oh, it's a good idea. You know who's flying the Dragonfly? Glenda. Yeah.
yeah, that's what killed it.
You would have killed the line right there. But yeah, when I found this at Ross, there was a big stack of that whatever piece it was that had, I think was it Dusty?
Maybe.
I don't know, but they were all the same one, and it was the one that it was like either the first or the second piece, and then at the very bottom of that huge stack was the number 5-pack, which was the one that had Alpine in it that nobody knew where it was.
That's
So
a great thread.
Needless to say, I knocked a bunch of shit over, and that one was mine that day. But next news item. Hey, we had some images show up for the upcoming comic book, and this got everybody all at Twitter.
Ugh.
Because God forbid we have a cast shot that doesn't explain any kind of plot, but people are going to say they hate it because the Baroness is showing up in the Duke comic. Because apparently he was just supposed to fight nobody.
They're a thing, aren't they? In canon, Duke and the Baroness?
In a canon.
Yeah.
Anyhow. But regardless, we don't know anything about the plot of this book yet, and people are already freaking out about it just because the Baroness shows up in the cast shot. So, okay, fine, whatever. I give up.
Why is the Baroness on the team?
Clearly.
Exactly. This is exactly what you want in a teaser image.
Right. I mean, it's the Baroness, right? Like, even if she's cast as a good guy, you know she's not going to be a good guy for very long, folks.
Right.
She's the damn Baroness.
When the bad guys are beating up the hero and Randy Orton runs down the aisle, you're not really sure what's about to happen.
Right.
Yeah, come on.
It's an origin story, folks.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody says the Baroness, I immediately think of Randy Orton too. So
Totally.
no, that's not true at all.
By
But
the way-
again,
go ahead.
But again, we don't know anything about this book. It's not going to be exactly like the Larry Hama book that you're already used to.
Right.
It's a different book with a different story, can we please just relax and let it get told? I
Espe-
implore you, comic book community, just relax and let it be told.
especially because they're still giving you Larry's story. It isn't like
know!
this is replacing
Right.
the you love.
Right. I don't know what kind of property G.I. Joe is from the creator's side, right? Like, I have a feeling there's enough guys out there that still, they grew up with it and they love it and they would do it when they were asked, no questions asked. But I'm sure there are lots of folks on the fence that are just like, well, you know, every time they start a new continuity, it runs up against the old one, and man, the fans just won't let it go.
Yeah.
Because that's happened just about every time. There's times where they are running specifically out of canon miniseries, and we have to hear all about how it's not right because it's not the same thing as what's going on in Larry Hama's book. I love Larry Hama's book. Don't get me wrong. Love it. My absolute favorite comic of all time. But this is a different book, so it's allowed to be different. Everybody just chill out. Just chill out.
Just everybody just cool out.
Right? Like if the Baroness is part of G.I. Joe at the beginning and then she gets removed as being a double agent, that opens the door for, I don't know, maybe Scarlet will take her place. Maybe Snake Eyes will take her place. Maybe something will happen to incorporate another character in that spot instead. And it builds the whole, I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go.
Look, everybody's saying it's the Baroness. It looks like Chameleon to me. Just saying.
Well, I mean, they did say it was the Baroness on the thing.
Oh, did
Yeah,
they? They don't know.
Yeah.
That's how good the dupe is.
I do like how Duke and Stalker look like the classified versions of those guys.
Mhm.
That's some nice synergy. But,
By the
Rex,
way,
Rex,
if you're-
Rob, you're our
Okay.
comic guy. Why don't you talk about this for a minute?
What would you like me to say?
Anything.
That, you know, the fact that she's in the cast, number one, doesn't necessarily mean she's part of the Joe team. Number two, it's an origin story. Number three, maybe she's a double agent. Number four, just buy the book and find out.
Right. Sean Russell. Maybe Duke gets killed in issue 1.
They
Now
wouldn't do that.
that's a twist.
They would
Not-
do that.
Nod to our
And-
pal Paul Aller. We love
Yeah.
him. Look, I thought that was a fantastic plot device for that story. I thought it was great.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, you know, his name wasn't in the title.
That's a good point.
Right.
The next issue is just either called Not Duke,
Yeah.
or it's just like scribbled out.
Right.
Someone else.
It has no title whatsoever. It's just a book.
Next man up.
Where they replace same font and it's just done. 4 letters. Very nice. By the way, forgot my own product. Rock Rampage 3-pack. Alpine, Rock Viper, Cobra Shock Viper, or Shock Trooper with a shield. Right.
Right.
That's a good 3-pack.
That was a good
Come
pack.
on.
Yes.
You might have to buy a couple extra Alpines to get what you want, but that's a pretty damn good 3-pack.
Oh, you know what? Then I did end up with that Alpine too. Yeah, okay.
There you go. See?
Yeah, because I remember I bought it for the Rock Viper
Making,
and another Shock Trooper.
making people buy it again.
Right. If you wanted more of that Urban Trooper, which was real popular back in Pursuit of Cobra, or the Rock Viper, which is a real well done figure, yeah, it was a good one to do that with.
Nefarious.
And how much item count did it cost? If I'd had item count, man, I'd have made the first Rock Viper with no mustache. Would have been crazy,
Yeah. See, I don't know if I can get behind that.
right?
I think he just needs that little. He needs a little Andy Devine going on there.
I love the
kick you
idea.
right out of the Rock Viper Corps.
I love the idea that you could be a professional mountaineer, join Cobra, and they're like, "Yeah, you look like a good candidate for the Rock Vipers. Can you grow a mustache?" Because
Play
if
that
not,
Jimmy-
we're
They're
gonna
playing
glue-
that Jimmy Buffett song in the barracks all the time.
If not, we're gonna glue it on.
I wish I had a pencil thin mustache. Brr, 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 brr. Anyways,
Anyway, we were talking about the Kansas City Royals bullpen and how good the products I made were.
right. Dustin Jeffrey says, I thought a Rock 3-pack would be Scorpion King, Roadblock, and the Tooth Fairy. It's fair enough. Fair.
Not bad.
That's good. It's pretty good. It's Dave McDonald says Duke is probably the traitor.
Again?
What a twist!
Give us back to what was that? Reloaded.
Yeah,
That's
Chuck
right.
Dixon's. Yeah,
Chuck Dixon's one, which also was not a bad story. Just got cut off at the knees, but right when it started to get going. It's not a terrible story. I get people freaked out because it was different, God forbid.
was that still with Devil's Due?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thought
But,
so.
yeah, and along those same lines, we got some images for the Cobra Commander book as well. And smaller ripples were caused in this one because Mercer shows up in the cast shot there. He looks like a burly lad, too.
Yeah,
He looks big. Yeah,
he must work
'cause-
out.
That is,
Destro's traditionally not small.
that is Dreadnought size. Or Road Pig sized Mercer there. And that's fine. People are tagging me on this one. Like, look, they have to come up with a better story for Mercer than the figures did, right? Like, it makes sense. If Mercer is part of Cobra's early, command structure and is a traitor, that makes a lot more sense for a story to have him join the Joes than being a former Cobra Viper.
A random grunt who is described on the file card as being the lowest man on the totem pole.
Right. Vipers are dirt. My problem with Mercer's story, why Mercer's story doesn't work for me, is that as a former Viper, he would know nothing. He would have no value to the Joes. They would toss him in a hole somewhere in Kansas, and that would be the end of him. He would be a traitor in prison. Great. Have fun out there, Mercer. You're not going to sign him up with the good guys. You don't trust him. He was a Viper, but he's a former officer? Well, now they have a reason to play ball because he actually knows things. He actually has some value to the team's intelligence. This works if he's actually a part of Cobra's command structure. So that I may like Mercer.
Just from the image, wild speculation, I'm reading him as the bodyguard here, right? Which would let them keep Storm Shadow out of the book for a while, which is a good thing, right?
Right.
And then drop him in issue 10, 12, whatever. Because if Storm Shadow was a Cobra, he's the A-list guy missing from this image, right? With Baroness on the other team, apparently. But yeah, Mercer as the Diesel to Cobra Commander Shawn Michaels. Yeah, I get into that. Sure thing.
Diesel to Shawn Michaels.
Just don't put the belt on.
No. Well, or if you put the belt on him, don't turn him into some candy sucking babyface.
Yeah.
Just let him be Diesel.
Yeah.
Anyways, Firefly is sad that Zorana has lost her garden weasel. I don't think she's lost it. I think it's just spinning. I think that's why it looks like a pizza cutter.
Well, it's the classified gun, which does look more like a pizza cutter.
Yeah. Diana asks, why does everyone think the commander is holding Megatron on the cover? I don't know.
Oh,
I don't think he is. I didn't get that impression of things, but whatever, could be
because the arc is in the background. I'm just saying, it's not a bridge too far.
Right?
No, it's not.
Starscream is on the Duke cover, or one of them.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm getting all the covers. I'm going to get every cover. By the way.
Well, I think I read somewhere that Duke is in the second issue of Transformers. So.
Okay. You gonna pick that one up?
Yeah, I did the first issue. I liked it. So yeah, I'm in for the second.
I'm late to it, but I'll retro get it. We'll give it a shot.
It's sold out. I think they're putting out a second printing though. So
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, Transformers is a book that if the buzz is good enough, I might pick it up in trades. I'm not worried about picking it up monthly though. I'm not the comic book expert around here. I don't need to be on top of this shit.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm so tired. I apologize. Anyways, Rob, you have any concise thoughts on what's going on here?
Like I said, I do like the inclusion of Mercer because we're going to figure out, okay, what intel did he have? Why is he a hot property for the Joes? about Attorney Trader, and not just, yeah, I'm so glad you saw the error of your ways. Go sit in that jail cell for 30 years.
It's he refused to grow a mustache, so he bounced him out of the Rock Vipers.
He's out of the Rock Vipers.
Yeah.
That meant he was he refused his orders.
No Rock Vipers and no goatee, so no Arrow Vipers.
No Steven Seagal Vipers.
Yeah.
Anyways, Matt Rubin says, Rob, is Mike not allowed to read your comics?
Ooh.
Yeah, sure he can.
I do all the time. So I on the rare occasion I'll pick something up. It's usually out of Rob's collection. I buy like 2 titles on my own. So
when I was a kid, my older brother Mike would read every one I bought, but he wouldn't contribute at all.
no,
And I complained to my mom, and I think the deal was every time I had 100, I reached 100 new comics, he had to pay me $10. And this is back like mid to late 80s. $10 a lot of money.
$10 will get you 10 comics in those days.
I'm not a library, Mike.
oh shit! I mean, back in the day when I used to read everything, just everything he bought, I'd be rolling through $10 pretty quick. But
yeah,
I also bought more back then. So, anyways,
I paid $10, 5 for Batman comics. Oh,
Well, it's quality.
I can't read Batman comics anymore.
did you feel that disturbance in the forest? Look at that shadow. Oh my god!
Weber, I thought you got rid of your children.
The dog is sitting right behind the monitor, right? He's worthless as a guard dog. Just laying there, belly to the sky.
Do you want the dog to be barking at the children every time they come by?
Barks at everyone else.
That's bad enough.
We had a repair guy come by today. The dog held its ground in the middle of the house, barked its damn head off while its tail wagged like crazy. I'm
Right.
like, you're so bad at this.
Right. No, we had a Cocker Spaniel growing up, and he made all the noise in the world, but it was always happy barks. He always just wanted everybody to love him. And
I'm here too. Me.
Right. That is effective in its own way.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, having a guard dog is one thing. Having an attack dog is something else, and you don't have an attack dog.
No,
You do have a guard dog.
She made a ton of noise, but we still got their washer repaired. So I guess it's win-win.
Right. That's what you wanted.
People want a Colin sighting. Colin's nowhere near me today.
No, he's gone.
He's upstairs. So
Park Boylan
my
wants
sources
to know where the cat is.
Yeah,
Good question.
my sources say, or source says upstairs.
Plotting, scheming.
I'm sure.
Conniving. That's why we like him. That's why he's our favorite of the Weber pets.
Mine too, by a long shot. Right? Look at this. Like you never know where. Oh no! I've been Emma'd.
It's cat dog. Careful she doesn't pee on you.
Right? Emma, you a good girl? You want to go for a walk next week?
Next week.
It's good to have goals.
Right. Maybe Friday.
Yeah, we'll see.
We used to do a show on Friday. You got some time then, right?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
You walk the dog to fill the window.
We got a soccer game on Friday.
Ah.
Grace Baptist.
Ah.
They're mean.
You gonna just slide tackle?
No, they're tough, man. They fed us our lunch a couple weeks ago.
Was that the game that you lost like 28-0?
It was a late touchdown. Made it feel a lot worse. You're gonna leave the women and children at home when Barrington Christian Academy and Grace Baptist clash on the soccer pitch.
Not a game for the faint of heart.
No.
They call it the Holy War.
Yeah.
Next news item.
Do.
Hey, this thing happened. Maybe you've heard of it. But that is the aforementioned Super 7 Cobra Mothership. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks. They finally gave us some real details and launched the campaign. It is well underway. It is not doing super great right now. Racktime Rob, I will leave you to get a count on how many backers are going on right this second.
All right, let me go look here.
But as you can see here, you get not just the craft, but a number of missiles and bombs. And we got those cool platform launch effect things, which I thought was a neat idea. You get one pilot or gunner, I guess is a better term. One gunner built in the standard reaction style, and then another one built with an O-ring, and that's really what's got everybody all turned up to 11 on this one. O-ring figures from Super 7. Mark Weber, your thoughts on potential O-ring figures from Super 7?
Isn't it the first time Hasbro has ever licensed O-ring to a third party or other company?
I think so.
I think it is. It is potentially a gigantic deal.
Well, for a U.S. market anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, it could mean big things because when Hasbro says something's on hiatus, that means no plans for this in the immediate or even short, medium-ish term future.
Right.
So, beyond what they're doing with the Transformers crossovers, and I think that's mainly, it is fan service, and I appreciate that. But it's just to keep the scale in mind, right?
Right.
Vehicles are only so big if they have a 3 3/4 inch driver, but could potentially be a great big deal for Super 7. So, I mean, it could be as simple as amending the contract. They can only do the same stuff, but now they can do it in O-ring. So, okay, and Super 7's been really creative with their choices of characters and things to do. I think there's just a ton of Joe fans who will not get a 5-point of articulation G.I. Joe figure. It feels like, I'm saying what some people feel like. Feels like a betrayal of what the brand has always been, at least from the 3 3/4 or Real American Hero roots. So they could get those people in addition to whoever they already have if O-ring is on the table. It could just be a one-off, or it could potentially be a very, very big thing. So,
yeah. Rachel Salinas asked, what about the bronze bombers? And the answer to that is very simple. Those were not G.I. Joe figures. They used molds from G.I. Joe toys in some cases, but they were not G.I. Joes. But Racktime Rob, what are your thoughts here?
Well, I do have that subscriber count so far, 489.
Okay.
489 backers. So
in 3 days or so. Yeah, it's not off to a roaring start, and we'll get to maybe some of the reasons in a little bit. Let's just take a look at the item itself, or the items themselves first. But what are your thoughts as far as the craft now that you've seen it?
it looks cool. I don't know. It's $500 cool.
Right.
You know.
But there is an early bird exclusive. It gets to 4,000 backers before October 23rd, which does not seem terribly likely. They will include parachutes for these flyers, these gunner guys that are fully usable. Again, I don't think we have to worry about this one too much, unless you just have a lot of friends that have to have a Cobra Mothership. Maybe you should ring them up now. But I don't necessarily see this one happening. I'm a little more optimistic for the project as a whole than I am for the early bird getting fulfilled.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we'll just kind of move on from them. But you can see here that we got the dimensions to a certain level there. That just a little over 7 inches tall, 32 inches wide. So this thing is every bit the hubcap you think it is. That is a hoss.
Yeah.
And that's it is a ginormous craft. I like it a lot. I think it's really well. They make a good use of the space. I think they have an aesthetic that they went for. They're trying to make it look like it came out of the GI Joe cartoon, and I think they achieved that. I wonder how well it fits with other GI Joe vehicles that we're used to seeing. Right. My one thought in regards to the design of the ship itself is that the toys that we had from the GI Joe line back in the day, they had panels and hatches and nuts and bolts and things into the that were put into the mold. They didn't necessarily work, but they were details that were there on the toy itself. And this craft on the inside doesn't seem to have any of those things. So it looks, without getting too, just to apply a generic term to it, it looks a little smooth. I wonder how that fits with the other one. It almost looks like it belongs to a different toy line, but it is very, very well laid out and a very good use of the space. Any thoughts based on that, or?
In general, like I get stretch goals and all of that, but to me it looks a little. It's obviously it's giant, it's imposing, it looks really authentic to the cartoon. But there's like gunner stations, right, that are an unlocked goal, and I really think those should have been on the thing itself. It doesn't look dangerous enough from the outside.
Yeah.
So I'm okay if they, made a different stretch goal and put it in there, but I'm not going to say maybe they just bump the price and put it on the outside. I think there's enough profit in here. You can put the gunner stations on the outside.
Right.
It is. I mean, the most common complaint is about the price, from what I've seen. Right.
Yeah.
Most people like it at least enough that I think they would buy it if the price was right, whatever that is. But the feeling is, especially because the shipping is huge on an item this big, is that are you going to pay $650 to have this arrive? Right? It's not just going to be the purchase price. So,
right.
I think I'm going to, and I don't have anything funky or special or rare that I'm going to part with. But I've got enough sealed toys with some value in the basement that I'm gonna try to sell off enough of what I already have accumulated over the years, so I can justify putting down the coin for this. I do want to see it succeed because it is ambitious, even if it is potentially overpriced, and a lot of people believe that.
Yeah, but you can see there. I've got the images up just to cut in real quick. Got the armory and the bomb bay on alternate sides of the back end of the craft there.
But my worry is if it doesn't work, you probably don't see anything like this again, right? Like they'll say, "Yeah, we tried. We gave them something they've never had before, something that has been asked for over the years, but most people thought was an impossibility. We gave them the option for it, and they didn't support it." So that's the danger of this not getting greenlit.
Right.
Is you may never see anything like it again.
That's we got the tier 1 unlock here. There's the turrets that you were talking about.
Yeah.
You see Destro in one of them in the opening to the cartoon. The one that that this whole thing is based on. We always in recent times we've laughed about how Destro gets pulled out of that seat by Bazooka and then thrown down to Footloose hundreds of feet below, who catches him with no problem. Very. So I can feel Footloose like stretching out now that he sees this tier 1 unlock. It's almost time. It's almost time.
He's getting ready to give Destro the AA. Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
And you got some extra details on there as well. That they unlock at 5,000 backers. The Trouble Bubble flight pods, which are almost like those turrets with a back to them, they unlock at 6,000, and there's 2 of those.
You can't have decals as an unlock. I'm sorry. A decal sheet is free.
Right, with purchase. Anyways, And then tier 3 at 7,000 backers, you get officers. You get one built reaction style, another one built O-ring style. They are just repaints of the gunners that are included with the base set. Now, in addition, you've got the option of buying these add-on 5-packs. There is a 5-pack of reaction Vipers and a 5-pack of O-ring Vipers. Each of those are $75. You notice that the reaction guys have backpacks. The O-ring guys do not, which is kind of cruddy. But whatever. I guess you gotta make up costs somewhere. Those O-ring guys, they'll just live off the fat of the land. They don't need gear. Fat.
They're range Vipers.
If I were a fat cat, big wallet, deep pocket toy speculator, I might buy one of these and buy a ton of the O-ring 5-packs and just feed them out on eBay one at a time.
Right.
Right. I think that's where the money is on these. But
Tim Peterson notes that he likes how the officers use the bat-like legs from the Vipers in the early 2000s. That was the 98 Toys R Us exclusive set that first introduced those legs to the Viper body. That's where that Viper officer comes from. But yeah, it is a nice nod. Again, there's no doubt that the folks at Super 7 do their homework and love the brand. Okay, that is not in question. Clearly, they have some folks there that are just huge G.I. Joe fans and pour a lot of effort and energy into seeing what they make with that brand succeed. Torpedo Mike asks, the Vipers weren't available separately. They are available separately. You can actually pre-order these without pledging to the mothership. However, if the mothership does not fund, those 5-pack add-on orders will be canceled. So the mothership happens to make those figures happen, and that otherwise, if the mothership doesn't happen, then those figures don't happen either. So you can place all those orders and put all your resources into those 5-packs, but if the ship doesn't come with it, then they're not coming to you either. But this craft, $495 plus shipping. Early bird funding ends again October 22nd. I don't think we got to worry about that one. The campaign as a whole ends December 11th at 11:59:59. So whatever that's at a Friday, I think. So yeah, have it done before Christmas. $495 is a lot.
Yeah.
Especially when we just in the last couple of years that Sky Striker came across at $230. Like, I don't think inflation has carried on quite that. I know this is a bigger aircraft. I know it's a bigger playset kind of deal. So I'm not saying it should cost $230, but going from $230 to more than twice that much in the space of 2 years for something kind of similar is that's a big ask. And then you're throwing a big ask of it. Another big ask is throwing that right in the middle of the Christmas shopping season. That's a lot of money to just take out of what you're going to spend on your friends and loved ones and family to place towards, this kind of funky looking Cobra head plane.
Yeah. Plus, there's been a lot of just classified product lately, right?
And there's just
the first time under classified that, and I don't have unlimited pockets either, but this is the first time where I've actually felt the squeeze of it's a lot of pre-orders at once.
Yeah.
You see how much of this I can fit on the household account before someone notices. My wife has a finance degree.
Dun 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 dun.
Okay.
Toy Bounty Hunter asks, well, the Star Wars HasLab Ghost was $500, isn't about the same size. Couldn't tell you. Don't know anything about the Ghost.
For people who have seen both, I think they say yeah. And Hasbro made the Ghost, but of course you have to pay the Star Wars tax. It's a licensed property for them.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, though, Hasbro's not making this.
Right.
So Super 7 is paying the G.I. Joe license tax on this.
willing to bet Hasbro isn't charging the same for GI Joe that Disney is charging for Star Wars.
Yeah. No, they're not.
It's Star Wars and it's also Rebels, right? Or
Yeah.
whatever animation.
And Super 7's a smaller company. You know, it's a mid-level company. It costs them more to do this.
Yeah. It's a big ask. I do want to see it fund. I do want to see it happen. But $500 for the ship plus $150 to staff it, plus another $100 to ship it. I mean, that's $750. I
don't need the $150 to staff it, right? Like, I'm only putting old O-ring figures in this. So, but that's kind of the funky thing is what I want to see in it, where it would fit in my collection. There wouldn't be any reaction figures in it at all.
Sure, but even if you want to buy the Gunner Vipers that they're selling, that's still you can get 2 of those. It's still $150.
Yeah.
So again, I'd love to see this go. I really do. I hope it does. I think if it does, I think it's got a shot at getting across the finish line. I think it could wind up with 4,000 backers before December 11th. I don't know if it goes any further than that. And I know that I cannot be one of those backers at that cost.
No.
It's just not possible.
Yeah, I wish it will, but too rich for my blood.
Yeah, it's too much all at once for me to be in on it right there, unfortunately. So again, don't take the fact that I don't plan on getting one as not being an endorsement, because I do think this is really cool. It's great. It's something different, which is what I've really wanted to see for GI Joe for a couple of years now. But at the same time, wow, that's a lot of simoleons.
There have been a couple like big swings by companies on crowdfunding things, and they went off. Now it seems like I think that toy companies are hitting this well too hard, and we've probably reached saturation point.
Mm-hmm.
This might be why this thing is going so. It's like I can't afford yet another, gigantic thing.
Right. I think we saw it with the fan properties that came through over the last year. We had a bunch of them just stacked one after another after another after another. With Longbow and then Carson's projects and what have you. They all just kind of hit one after another, and we were kind of lucky in that they didn't totally overlap, but that was a lot of money in a short period of time too. And I think it's starting to escalate, right?
Yeah.
Like now we have bigger companies and bigger projects and bigger asks. Like it's tough. It's difficult.
I'm going to try to make this thing happen, but I'm going to have to move some product. Legit. I'm going to have to move some product to make this work.
All right. So you heard it here first. The What's on Joe Mind cast party will be at Mark's house.
That's it.
When he gets the Cobra Mothership in.
I want Philip to get it so he can turn it upside down like a breastplate to go with his proton pack, and now he's well defended, right? Well armored, ready for the apocalypse.
Nomad's Wandering says, one thing I definitely appreciate is how the G.I. Joe brand is viable enough for so many throw-it-at-the-wall items across the entire gamut even now. That's not nothing, and that's very true. That's a good point. Just a few years ago, as the fact that Mark Webber is on this show will attest, G.I. Joe is not viewed as something that could be sold. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they are overselling it, in some of our eyes, overselling it now, speaks volumes for its strength as a brand and hopefully for its future. Really want to see some new animation, but maybe that's just me. Anyway, it's a big ask. It's if you're even considering it, I would recommend please figure out what you're going to do early and get pledged to it, because I think whatever momentum this thing can pick up, it's going to need. So if you decide if you're on the fence, you can always pledge now and de-pledge later.
Well, careful.
I'm not sure how that works.
Okay, fair
because
enough.
With Super 7 orders like this, they take the money up front.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah, it's
That's
not like the
said.
HasLab stuff when they bill you at the end of the campaign.
I was
if you pledge, they're taking your money.
I was in
back if it doesn't, but
I was in Kickstarter mode there. I apologize.
Yeah.
So listen to Rob on that one. Don't listen to me on that one.
There is a payment plan thing, I think, right, where you can pay in 4 installments.
There is. I mean, it's still $700, but ugh.
That's just walking around money for you, Mike. Come on now.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Might have to cut into that big league shoe account.
Just Dustin Jeffrey asks, would it require a separate Magic Band if Phil were to take it to Disneyland?
Probably.
I think that goes without saying. I think just Phil being Phil, he would give it its own Magic Band.
I get the feeling Phil walks into Disneyland like Norm walks into Cheers.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Phil!
Even everybody?
Biff!
Hey, look, everybody, it's Phil!
Hey, Norm. Hey, Phil, what would you say to an AT-AT filled with popcorn? Where have you been all my life?
Yeah.
Diana's got the winner.
Right.
Just wear it as a hat.
Trumpet fanfare, Mike. Trumpet fanfare.
I can't get to it that fast. There it is.
That literally, that was maybe the only hat that fits me.
I mean, 32 inches. Is it wide enough?
Right? And keep the rain off my shoulders.
Sounds like it would
maybe.
Seems like it would be tight.
Like a tiger.
And I know some folks have thrown out that, you know, there was a Thundercats project that Super 7 filled not too long ago. There's a good point here, and that Rachel Salinas says, if you're a Thundercats fan, Super 7 is the only game in town. If you're a Joe fan, you have other options. So I think that's not working for them either. There's a lot of math that goes into this, and say, hey, $700 will buy a lot of classified or a lot of even retro items that I can fill holes in my collection, as opposed to this one thing that, But again, if you're on the fence, I would figure it out sooner than later, because Lord knows. This one, I think it's going to need the help. If at 4 days, you know, that when most projects like this catch that real big launch, this one did not catch that big launch. You know, it is just past 10% of the way there. So yeah, if you're in on this one, you're probably going to have to fight for it.
I think it was a little bit of a mistake on Super 7's part to do this at Comic-Con and not Toy Fair a week earlier.
Why is that?
I think they had more. I think there was more attention paid to the fact that, look at that giant Cobra thing. When do we find out more about it? Oh, Comic-Con. And then Comic-Con, it's buried under everything else.
Maybe. There's a lot coming out of Toy Fair too. So
there was, but I mean, you know, this was a big old toy that did
right.
Yeah, that did hog a lot of attention.
It would have been a first blush kind of thing. We were all used to it after that week. So
yeah, and then at Toy Fair it was like, I
don't think that's a big thing, but I also don't think it's insignificant.
I think there is some hope here, because I'm going to bet there's a lot of people like me who are seriously considering getting it, who want to get it, but have to figure out the finances of it, right?
Right.
Ugh. Everything else was pretty much a yes. The Hiss tank was significant, but the Dragonfly seemed like a much better value. So those are both easy yeses. Like, yep, I'm in. Yep, I'm in. But you know, if it had been, I'm trying to think what would be significant. If it had been a Mauler tank for 400, I would probably be in the same boat that I am with this. Ooh, cool, really want it, but I got to make that 400 come from somewhere.
Right.
So I'm because I want it to succeed. By and large, I want any Joe project to succeed, almost. Because what's good for the brand is good for us, even if it is the version of Joe or the kind of thing you really want. I'm not saying you have to buy something you don't like to support the brand. You shouldn't root against stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, I want this. I want this to succeed, and I think I can back it. It just depends on what we're going to offload on eBay. So, stay tuned.
Dun dun dun. We can count on Mad Marauder's barbecue, though.
That's available right now. And hey, buy direct, and I don't have to pay the eBay their slice. So that's even better. But yeah, maybe we'll have a new portion on the show. We'll have like a thermometer we're trying to fill up. Get Webb his sombrero.
Firefly, I am seriously considering it, but the space is more of an issue. Its footprint is designed like a kid's toy that spends its life on the floor. Where do you even buy a shelf for this?
Yeah.
And that's a great question, because this is almost you're buying a table for it and only it.
Right. Do we have any idea?
You have to have a tie room.
Do we have any idea how much it weighs?
I haven't seen that. That's not to say it's not out there.
Because it is,
like I said, I was busy a lot this weekend.
It is an airship, and we've all seen photos of guys with badass Joe caves, right? So I gotta imagine there are people who might try to suspend this thing if they can do it safely. But if this bad boy is running 25, 30 pounds.
This is also going to be tough to suspend if your top panels are removable.
Yeah.
Right. You'd have to loop it somehow underneath. But yeah, just thinking out loud.
It's yeah, Matt Rubin says we haven't touched on the lights on the bottom either. No, that's true. We have not. There is a whole slew of lights that go across the bottom. It looks really cool. Again,
it's a cool toy. But
Toy Bounty Hunter says turn it into a ceiling fan.
Right. You've seen guys do that with helicopters, right?
Right.
They
sure.
plug a copter into the bottom of the ceiling fan, and it looks awesome. Yeah, it's not going to look good flat on a wall. Not like Cap's shield.
No. Viper Scout asks, how much bigger than a Terradrome? Can you clamp it over one somehow? I mean, if you have a Terradrome to clamp it over, I imagine it's bigger than a Terradrome at 32 inches wide or 32 inches across. I don't think the Terradrome quite reaches those kind of proportions.
I don't think the Terradrome's even 2 feet across.
No, I don't think so.
20 inches, maybe, something like that.
Yeah, it's you're dedicating a lot of time and effort to this. That's for certain.
Yeah.
But if you got it, great. Again, I'm not criticizing that. We're in that age where we got money to spend on whatever we want. So if you're lucky enough to be in that circumstance, great, do it. I ain't mad at you for spending your money.
Yeah, by and large, I mean, if the show had a stance on it, we like it. We're glad they're trying it. We think it's pretty cool. And it's a little too expensive,
right?
For to be an instant yes, right? I think those $4.95 guys who are behind it already are instant yes guys and gals with deep pockets,
right?
Who saw it and just went, "Yep, in." Plus, I get my parachutes. But the rest, most of us are either I can't swing that or ooh, I'm gonna have to think about that.
Right. I mean, even like Rob and I, even if we decided to split one, there's nowhere to put it.
Right.
This apartment is not big enough for that. So there's no way.
Yeah, and one of you schmoes would be like, I get the bottom, you get the top panels. That sucks.
Right. I'd take the bandsaw, just cut it clean down the middle.
Right.
Cut it in twain.
My dad did that. My dad did that once with a book I was reading. And I wasn't a heavy reader, but my brother was. And he wanted to read the book. I think it was Prince Caspian, like the second of the Narnia books. And we were fighting over it. It was my book, right? And he ripped it in half, the paperback. He ripped it in half, like down the spine. Said, here you go. Gave Mike the second half, gave me the first half. And my mom just looked at him like.
I mean, I thought it would have been cooler if he just ripped it across the middle,
right?
Like Hulk Hogan or something.
Now you got to work together, right?
Thanks a lot there, King Solomon.
I just remember my mom looking at him like, you're going to win Dad of the Year.
So, Mark, if you're a former toy guy, you used to be on the other end of this.
Yeah.
What price point is this an automatic buy for you?
I would buy it. I would have been in for sure at 300, even knowing that there's a ton of shipping afterwards, right? 300, I'm in 100%. Beyond that, probably got to think about it. And I realized at 300, it wouldn't be half the ship it is. But
right. Rack time, Rob. Same question.
I don't know if I go 300.
I would assume it was just more than the Sky Striker simply on account of hugeness.
Yeah.
I think 300 is a good line. I think that's the line where I would think about it too. Even if it's just to pick it up to flip it, I think I would make the space for that. But anyways, so let's we'll leave it at that. I don't want to come off as being too negative on this because we've certainly got. We like just about everything about this project, and we don't like one thing about this project. So we're really two things about this project, but still, if you've got it, you got the space, you got the money, you've got the resources to dedicate to it, by all means do it. And do it quickly so it builds some momentum and has a chance to fund. Because as we've said many times, success for Joe is success for the parts of Joe that we all like. So great. It's Andrew Galgan says $349.99 would get people in who said they'd only pay $3. Yeah, probably.
right.
Probably. That's fair enough. But
Brian,
Brian
another
King,
$50 at that point.
Brian King, this is off topic, but the mention of Marauders Barbecue got me thinking. Do you think that Iron Grenadiers will take place of Python Patrol at Target? I don't know. They seem to be running. They seem to be happy to run with Python Patrol for a while. So.
Yeah, I mean, I hope not. I'd rather see the Iron Grenadiers come through the regular retail.
Right, same. That's not a reprint. But
I think
those are original characters.
Yeah,
the way the Mad Marauders Barbecue has skyrocketed in value should make them. They should do more of them.
Right,
because those early ones are hard to find and really expensive.
We're just getting to a point where most of those guys are coming out regularly, right?
Yeah, they don't.
We're just getting to the point where we haven't seen Mutt yet, but we just got Lowlight and Spirit. So
was Slaughter's Marauders the dumbest of the repaint crews? Had to be, didn't it?
I think so. It was the one I liked the least.
But like the coolest vehicles.
The vehicles
also true.
Yeah, 100%.
Also true. Great vehicles. Kind of crummy figures.
Especially the big one. What was it? The Equalizer?
Yes.
Yeah. That thing's cool.
Came with Denzel Washington. It was awesome.
Yeah, and Edward Woodward. It was amazing.
Old English guy.
Yeah.
Or Queen Latifah.
Mail away Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
Queen Latifah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, the color scheme isn't that thrilling, and there were no unique figures, right? No new characters or anything. They were just
Slaughter.
Even Tiger Force gave us Sky Striker.
Right.
What are we going to name the pilot guy? I don't know.
Anyways, next news item.
Oh, do.
One last bit. We got the 1027 is coming up in a couple of weeks, almost a couple of weeks. October 27th, 3 p.m. Eastern on the Hasbro Pulse YouTube channel.
That's so dumb. I drove there for more than 5 years, and even I didn't remember what 1027 stood for. Dumb. Nobody thinks that's cool.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's an excuse to throw more pre-orders at us, though. That's for sure.
I'm fine with it being an event, but no one gives a damn.
Anyways, it brings us to the end of the GI Joe news for the week. Chunky Tank Kitty and his Meowler tank, brought to you by the GI Joe 3D Printing Podcast. Be sure to tune into them for all of your late and breaking Chunky Tank Kitty news, including I cannot talk today. Including news of the 2.0 model of Chunky Tank Kitty, we hope. So that's it for the news. Where's my news button? There it is. That's right.
Have we ever finished the news at 10:47?
I don't know. Real quick, let's listen to a word from our wonderful sponsors at Cobra Toys.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
So real quick, let's roll right into what we got in our rack time, Rob.
Okay, well, not that much,
Okay.
but it was kind of cool. I got
look at
Groot.
that.
And look, he's doing the show on his phone.
What kind of bastard with no commitment does his own podcast on his own phone? Come on.
Mark Weber, what'd you get in?
Well, well, it's been a while, so maybe people don't know that I am also the king of the lazy bastard custom, and realize I'm also old man web because I keep buying figures I already have. I got to get a better list or a centralized location. I had 2 cover girls, which is not a bad problem to have, by the way.
Right.
But my pal Dean Ryder from on Facebook had an extra Lady J that he was talking about, and I said needed an extra Lady J. So we worked an old-fashioned swap, 1 for 1, just ship to each other. We're all good. And that Lady J with a new head, pretty spectacular.
All right.
A lot of people are doing this custom, I think, online because it's super easy. That's Quake from the Marvel Legends line, which was an Ollie's find a couple weeks ago, so not too expensive. The heads don't quite fit on the ball, and I haven't gotten to that step yet. So let me introduce you Marvel's Quake. But she comes with an extra pilot's head there that you can put on J2 if you want. So follow me for more recipes. That's what I got in. And whether you think I did a good job or not, I think I'm getting better. So that's what I got in.
Oh, well, it's my turn, and that means we got to strap in. If you've been paying attention, that number last week was a lot smaller.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, in the last 7 days, that number has grown by 7.
No wonder you're not buying the $500 toy.
Well, again, our good friend Jonathan Robinson and his pals at Atomic Frog Studios, they had something to say about it. So, anyways, here's number 106. He's just grand. And then we got number 107. He's about the same. That is the first from Atomic Frog. And then the 108 is much the same. His paint isn't quite as good, but he's complete and all that good stuff. Then we got 109. He is part of that group of problematic bachelors known as the Squad. And his loose-legged friend number 10, 110 is the same way there. He's all over. He's busted. I like to call them forcefully circumcised, I guess is the correct term. And then 111 and 112 are just really good ones too. 111, I had to fix his little ammo pack strap, and you've all seen beachheads before, so I'm not going to worry about holding them up to the window too much. But we do have a first here on What's on Joe Mind. We have had some of our wonderful fans have sent us packages to be unboxed live here on the show. I have no idea what is in these boxes.
Oh boy.
Just know this, gentlemen, I have your addresses now. So if it's something that's terrible, I will find you.
This isn't the guy who sent in the cards, is it?
I possess. No, it's not Kevin. Not Kevin Watts. No,
Okay,
Unless it's Kevin Watts with an assumed name.
right.
which is pot. No. These are folks who we do know and trust for some time. So let me go ahead and get myself into the big window here. There we go. But this first one, this is Michael Draconis, who has been a fan of the show for probably better than a decade at this point. And he insisted that I did not open in advance. I have to figure out how to do this while not putting my address on the internet for the entire world to see.
Is it possibly like the explosive can of worms thing?
Maybe.
Awesome.
I don't know. It doesn't feel. It's not heavy. So
I don't know. I'm in the other room. I'm all right.
yeah, Rob is off and on a different site, so to speak, on purpose. This is a really well put together package.
No, Dustin Jeffrey, we don't want it to be glitter bombs.
Ooh.
Because then someone loses his security deposit.
That deposit's already gone. Nobody ever gets a security deposit back. What do you
That's a
think?
good point.
I have.
Dork. All right, let me just throw the box over there for now.
Oh, no. I'm too messy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the process of getting a lot of stuff organized, so it's already a mess. All right, points on great packing.
Mm-hmm.
Can't beat that.
We're gonna leave that on our feedback. Very well protected. There's nothing in there.
There's something in there.
It's candy.
Hope so. Hope it's great.
It is. It's a chicken McNugget with beachhead arms.
It's Staff Sergeant Sea Nugs.
With eyes, though.
With a face.
Wait, what number is he?
He is not. He is number one.
That's 108, isn't it?
It's number one.
It is number one in the armed McNuggets. I'll put him with my McNuggets. I'll put him with the Sarge McNugget.
That's pretty slick.
That is fantastic.
It's from the crappy era beachhead arms, though, isn't it?
It is.
We're not wasting a good beachhead on that.
Right. No, and nor would I expect him.
Yeah.
That's
No, it looks great on a sea nug.
That's the right way to do it, right there.
Yeah, they should have put more of those. That's how they should have made that era.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for that. Then we have our second, again, completely by coincidence, because we've never done this as a segment or anything. Our good friend Absorb has sent us a box as well. He drew all kinds of weird Bunny Men, Batman fan, What's on Joe Mind viewers on the sides of the box. I can't show you all of them. I don't want to put my address on the internet for everybody. But this is from our good friend Absorbids. Again, the gentleman who brought you all of the community calendar intros that we see. We're going to open this one. I get no drum roll or anything.
Safety first.
Right, Rob. You may want to take a deep breath in advance in case this releases some LSD. Let me check comments real quick.
You want the one from Toy Bounty Hunter.
In the post-apocalyptic future, Mike will be known as the Duke A number one. He will create a new economy that uses beachheads as currency. Yes, and I will have them all. Yes. Get that turned around there.
I like that people were thinking, why is all the art on the box so weird and trippy? And then you said, this is from Absorb Bids. And they're like, okay, makes sense.
And now we got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Good Lord, be careful. That box cutter is so dull, I could probably stick it directly into my arm and it would not cut it. So thank you, but we'll be okay.
You do more harm with a dull knife than a sharp one.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
We got some Absorb stickers, always good. And again, you can find him and his work at absorb_ on Instagram. We got some more stickers. And proving that great lines think alike. It complete in the G.I. Joe plastic carrier too.
That's nice.
That's right there. He de-homed a dock for this one. But there is the Staff Sergeant Cnug's card. This Cnug does not have arms.
Is that an actual chicken nugget?
Maybe.
It's going to age poorly, even hermetically sealed.
Maybe. I don't know. It's a McDonald's one, so probably
That's
fine.
true.
There's no actual food there.
That's awfully big to be a nugget. That's a.
Did it come with a weapon?
No, it doesn't even have arms, so it's for the best.
Probably.
But there he is in all of his fully posable glory.
Dude, that is one of one.
Yeah, I like how he's a free ranger.
He's Free Ranger, yes. Free Ranger, yes.
He also doesn't believe in showers.
No, that's for take the breading right off of him. It's good to know that our fans are just as deranged as we are.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good feeling. I feel like I've accomplished something. My life is no longer a lie.
Look at Figure 6-pack. You know what you need with that, Mike? With those two C-nugs. A little barbecue sauce.
No,
That's
I've
what
already
you
got
need, barbecue
some.
sauce.
I've already got some.
I got two.
But Jake Rose wishes he had some of those to sell at his Washington Toy Show. So yes, right there, completely independent of one another, we have two renditions of Staff Sergeant Cnugs right here for live unboxing on the big program. Thank you both. Michael Draconis, you can see his name there, and of course Absorbids. Thank you both. We appreciate you and tuning in and seeing us every week so very much. Oh my God!
Seek help.
I think there's a chicken nugget on a card over there. Like, this is breaking me a little bit.
I mean,
Mint jelly on card.
Usually they either come in a box or loose, but mint on card, that's something.
So I'm gonna play with this guy instead with his swivel arm battle grip, and Rob is gonna do shout outs.
Shout out to the studio audience, you wacky people, you.
You sick bastard. What else you got, Rob?
That's about it.
This is my legacy.
It's quite an imprint there.
Right. Mark Weber, shout out.
Hey, to my pal Damien Ryder, who sent me the Lady J lip. There's a better lip.
Oh wait, we'll get you in the big window here. Hang on.
I can make this work. I can make this better. There you go. She's looking good.
Too close.
Whatever.
Kind of whatever.
We'll do it. We'll fix it in post. I want to thank our friend and yours, Joe Colton, and her husband Wes. Their anniversary today. Happy anniversary to Joe and Wes. To the aforementioned Diana Ann Cullen Davis. Sad note.
Oh,
come on now.
Sorry, I hit the wrong
Keep it
button.
real. To Diana and Cullen Davis on the loss of their cat, Cookie Monster, who we all loved. So there ain't nothing like the love of the big cat and pets and family. So sorry for your loss. And now to bring it back up, I just found this today. Did you know that StreamYard has a touch-up my appearance function
Oh no.
that makes me look like I'm Botoxing like crazy? So this is me, normal, gorgeous. I don't know if this is live or not. I'm going to turn it all the way up. What happened to my face?
Oh no.
It's under settings and it's horrifying. I've been burned somehow. Too much sun. Like
The germinal abrasion went too far.
Look, I've been a solid 4 to 5 all my life, right? I'm good with it, right?
Wow.
I like that they have a slider bar that should just say horrific.
Right.
You can go from 0 to Odo from Deep Space Nine.
Especially with my stunning lack of eyebrows. This is a problem, right? This is normal. They call it very subtle. This is very strong and it's horrific.
That isn't Mark. It's a changeling.
Welcome to What's on Joe Mind. Today we will be talking. Oh, so no, thank you, StreamYard. This is as good as it gets. Raw natural.
Submit to the blood screening.
All killer, no filler. Thank you.
Oh my dear God.
Set Phaser's just stunning.
Yeah, well, just to bring it home, I will reiterate Rob's shout out to the folks at home. If you're catching us live, we appreciate you tuning in every Tuesday night at 9:05. Remember to like the video in the one corner and subscribe to the video in the other one. If you're catching us on Facebook tonight, be sure to give us a thumbs up or a heart or a little huggy guy, because we do love little huggy guy. And remember, if you got a few dollars to help the channel grow, head over to our coffee page. That is linked down below as well, along with our social media. $1 a month gets you listed as a swear jar. You're in our closing credits. We appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much. We've got 16 of you now. So it's been a real nice source of growth this year. Even if we're not making our subscriber goals, you guys seem to like us okay. So, yeah, as Andrew Galgan says, as you file out of the theater, please hit the like button. Some weeks you guys are great about that. Other weeks you kind of forget about it, which makes me really insecure about the whole prospect. Anyways.
And kudos to Christian McKelvey for coming up with the handle Voldemort. Because if you don't click the like button, Voldemort will get you.
We dare not speak his name.
I want to give a shout out to our good friend Brian, Hooded Cobra Commander 788, who leads in every day or every Tuesday, or most Tuesdays, many Tuesdays, with his own live stream. Be sure to follow his channel if you don't already. That link is down below as well. To our good friends at Kokomo Toys, sponsors of the program, we'll sing their theme song real quick. Kokomo Toys. Kokomo Toys. And of course, you know, to a special thanks to AbsorbVids and to Michael for sending us not one but two. We'll 1 and 1A in terms of the first ever true plastic representations of Staff Sergeant Seanugs. This one a little bit of artist license on that one, but yeah, I again not planned. Thank you so much. I appreciate any time, folks. I mean, send us anything, let alone to put effort into things that they send us. That's crazy.
Yep.
But we appreciate it all the time. If you've got anything you need on the show, you got customs, you've got a show, be sure to get a hold of us at whatsonjoemind@gmail.com. We do have other social media, but I can't promise you that I'm going to have it organized enough every Tuesday to get it on there. So whatsonjoemind@gmail.com is the place to send any input you have for the program. We do have some fan customs that we didn't get around to this week. We'll have them on next week. We will have a special guest next week as well, so be sure to tune in for that one. But that's all we got.
I mean, it's not all we got. Yeah! Yeah!
You know, your window is a chamber of horrors tonight.
Well, wait a minute. I know this is a little rough, but maybe we can touch up her appearance.
My window has had a chicken nugget on a card, but yours is still the main source of horror tonight.
I
As
think
our friend,
from now on, whenever anything truly weird or surprising happens, I'm just going to go Botox like this.
as our friend Vagon likes to say, stay safe, and if you can't, be careful. Be sure to tune in next week at 9:05 here on the Superstation for another episode of What's on Joe Mind. Now stay tuned for an encore presentation of Blues Brothers 2000. We'll be back next week. Have a great rest of the week. Until then, yo, Joe.
Thank you.